All right, well, welcome everyone to Laughing at Work, a roasting a roasting workplace culture, aka this is a stand-up comedy roast on all of the ridiculous things we wish we could talk about at work. We in the world of KPIs and OKRs, sometimes you just need some LOLs, and that's what we're hoping to bring you all today. Your host today, if we haven't met, my name's Jessie Jacob. I am a community manager at Culture Amp, helping support our global chapters community and hosting gatherings all around the world that relate to the mission at Culture Amp, which is to create a better world of work. So I see many of our chapter leads here today from let's see, Orange County and from Kansas City and from the Creative Wellbeing chapter in San Francisco. So shout out to all of you for being here. But we, yeah, I'm so honored that we get to have this session today. I'm collaborating with my co-host, Sammy Anzer, today. Woo,
What's up,
woo, woo.
everybody?
Sammy is a professional comedian. We'll put professional in air quotes. No, he is a professional comedian. He is currently in Denver, moving back to New York, identifies as the mixed race comedian. He's open for lots of large names that you've probably heard of, like Neil Brennan and DL Hewley. And he's also written on one of Kevin Hart's shows. Even 2 nights ago, you were in LA at the Laugh Factory, which is so cool.
And now I'm here.
And now you're here with the Culture First community. So
Okay.
I actually went to a one of those like don't tell comedy show one things that I got an Instagram ad, and they don't tell you who's performing. You just show up at some location the night of. And anyway, ended up seeing Sammy, who was the headliner, and I was like, that guy's so fun. And so anyway, we stayed in touch. We stayed buds. This is a screenshot of it happens in the DMs, folks. I sent him a DM after we hung out after the show, and I was like, hey, you want to collaborate on some stuff? Not entirely sure what that could look like, but we could talk it out. And here we are. We've done this session before in February, and it was a real hit. And so here we are bringing it back to you all, whatever, 6 months later. But Sammy, so excited to have you with us again
Thanks
today.
for having me. Thanks for having me. Big props to Jessie. So she's gonna tell you this, but um, she's like a fan of stand-up comedy. And after my show, she kind of got this idea of like wanting to bring comedy to a workplace. And me, as a former educator, like high school teacher and then working in education, I was like, this is such a great idea because I think it's so important to have humor in the workplace because being able to like laugh and joke at work is more of a sense of being less professional. And I think professionalism is a way to just confine your identity and be like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be like. But none of us are just professionals. We're more whole, full people. So the way we do that is that we kind of like just bring more of ourselves to our identity at work. And a lot of that is about joking. So I think joking is a great way to bond with people. I think it's a great way to be yourself. I think it's a great way to like not take what we're doing too seriously because at the end of the day, most of our jobs are like, oh, what if HR doesn't go well today? It's gonna be fine, okay? We can all laugh at ourselves. We can all not take ourselves so seriously. I'm a traveling night clown, basically. That's my job. That's how I get my money. I'm a traveling night clown. I don't take my job seriously. Um, and I'm gonna be like, and neither should you either. Quit right now. No, don't do that. But this is a chance for all of us to bond, for all of us to bring more of ourselves. And Jesse's great idea, and my minor collaboration is we're happy to bring this to you and give you a platform to express your thoughts freely.
Yes. All right. Well, also, if you missed the first session, it was a hit. It's on Culture Amp's YouTube channel if you want to go and watch it. Shout out to Gary, Peter, Teresa, Kathy, Paul, and Hannah for working with us last time. It was such a freaking treat. So go and watch that if you are so inclined. This, as a reminder, is a community-led event and not a Culture Amp event. So we recognize that some of the things we cover today may touch on sensitive topics. We understand that it could make folks uncomfortable. And as we navigate the session, we are committed to creating an inclusive environment where we can have hard conversations, talk about bold topics, but we always welcome your feedback on if and how we can improve.
So here's the translation.
Yeah.
If we're gonna joke about stuff, don't be a narc, okay? No one here is a professional comedian.
Right.
Let everyone take their big swings, and this is not a chance to be your formal self. We're gonna have some fun.
Totally. We also prepped the comedians that share whatever you would be comfortable sharing with your psychologically safe boss. That's how we've teed this up. So, okay, so we'll have a check-in. We'll hear from some performers. Then you all will get to vote on those performers that you loved, and then we'll have a closing and we'll get out of here. So, scan this QR code to have our opening check-in. You can also go to slido.com and enter in this QR code. But I'm going to switch tabs here. There we go. Cool. Okay, opening question. What does joking at work mean to you? And as these are coming in, Sammy and I were thinking about this together. And I was reflecting on like joking at work means to me that like we can take our work serious, but we don't take ourselves, and I don't take myself as serious. So that's kind of what it means to me, but we'll be curious to hear what this means to you all.
I love sarcasm. I told you that, Jesse. I
Yeah.
love I love it when you could be like sarcastic at work with a friend where it's like, "Oh, we're planning a trip to Tulsa for work. I can't wait. Always wanted to go there." Sorry if there's anyone in Tulsa from the chat. I don't think anyone said that in the chat, but right, we're good. We're safe.
Laugh and have fun, building common humanity.
I love that. Someone's a true poet.
Yeah, make it does make the day go faster, isn't that right? Goofy moment. Yes, memes.
Love a good
I love
meme.
when someone sends me an Instagram reel. You can tell me I'm a millennial without telling you, but I love when someone's like, "We're in a relationship." I was like, I love that. Being able to cope with humor instead of just complaining. Love that.
Ooh, Chris, Christy's doing pranks. I love a good work prank. That's good. That's next level.
Camaraderie, professional levity. I enjoyed that. It's fun. All right. And respect, I think, yeah, respectfully laughing with others. It's
Have you
great.
ever tried disrespectfully laughing? That's pretty fun too. Really good.
All right. And giving folks a few more. Oh, come someone just great.
All right, that's my favorite. That's it. That's
Okay.
good. That's the
Yeah.
spirit we want.
Life should be fun. Yes. Okay. Next question. What topics are you hoping that our performers cover today during our time together? What are the things? What's the fodder? Let's hear it.
I, for one, hope people talk about their bosses by name.
By name, company and name. Post rapture apocalypse.
Mm.
Job seeking. Yeah, it's totally crazy employees, unknowing coworkers. The hot goss.
Hot goss was good.
Yeah, it is annoying to talk about remote work. That's very true. Streaking the water cooler area? What? What's happening?
That's a new
Whoa,
one.
that's a
That's
good
a new one.
prank.
Generational differences, always classic. Whose side is HR on anyway? Oh, All the jargon. Ooh, wow. How ridiculous C-suite ask HR to do things, even breaking compliance. Woof. Woof. Could that person come and share?
Mm. That's why they're anonymous right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly. All right, we'll give one more moment here. Great. Okay. I'm going to switch us back to this slide here. So thank you all for checking in. If this is your first community gathering with the Culture First community and you're like, who are these people? Well, we're a group of people around the world united in the shared belief that a better world of work is possible. And I always like to say, and by golly, we're willing to do something about it. We have 5 core principles that we ask you to embody during our time together. At this point, we now have over 100 global chapters. We have 150 volunteer chapter leads, many of them on this call today. And they're hosting collectively, we're hosting around 300 events a year with 20,000 members globally. And at every single one of our events, we ask our members to embody these 5 core principles. And so today we ask you to foster belonging and acceptance. Just let people feel seen, valued, and appreciated for showing up, being themselves. We ask that you have the willingness to reflect and grow. If we're on this mission to create a better world of work, that actually starts with us being the change we want to see in the world. So really asking yourself, like, what can I do? We ask you to have the courage to be vulnerable. This could look different for all of us, but this idea of like we're all wearing masks and different labels and belonging badges and ways of identifying ourselves. And then if we can own more of those, it gives other people permission to be more of themselves, and it creates more trust and psychological safety on this mission to do great, meaningful work together. The 4th core principle is put your learning into action. We hope that something sparks your energy today and you're able to implement something into the way that you live or to the way that you work. And lastly, connection inside, business outside. That is a fancy way of saying that in the context of this gathering, we want you to connect first on the inside as just human beings. And if that leads to you all doing business on the outside of this gathering, that's cool. But the like main purpose is connection. It's not like hardcore sales and like asking someone for a demo and pitching them. We're kind of exhausted with that. So we're here to connect and learn and grow and do that together. So that said, can I have a thumbs up, either like actual thumbs up or an emoji reaction that you all can commit to embodying these principles during our time together? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Final housekeeping before we get into our sessions. This session is being recorded. It will be published on Culture Amp's YouTube channel prior to this. You're going to hear 1 minute of stand-up comedy from, I believe, 7 of our community members. We ask that when they are performing that you mute, but like bring the reactions, leave some things in the chat, like just all of the good things. There is no comedic bombing here. So after everyone performs, we do invite you to come off of mute, give them some love, give them some like loud hoops and hollers and cheers, or emoji reactions is cool too. But no bombing here, and give everyone some love for putting together their minute for you all. And then afterwards, again, we'll ask you all to vote on your top 3 performances of the day. Sammy, anything else that I missed here that we want to cover?
Are you on the list for potential winners? Because that would be.
I am on the list.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. All right, everyone, keep a special eye out for Jesse. I don't think you missed anything. Should we do it?
All right. All right, now so get on with the show. It feels very timely for where we are with October around the corner. All
Mm.
right. Here we go. I'm going to stop sharing. Sammy is going, so I guess I am going first.
You're going first. How'd you practice for this, Jesse?
I know. How did I practice for this?
Yeah.
I was facilitating a session on how to lead fish bowls. And in order to do that, I had to kind of set it up by being like, panel discussions are lame. And then those are the problem. And then that kind of led me to this minute of comedy.
How did it go?
You're about to find out.
All right, Jesse, take it away.
All right. Here we go. Okay, so I've seen so many panels this year that they need to be roasted. Corporate panels are about as original as white women drinking Starbucks. It's a classic. Why change it? Panels are the potlucks of conferences. Everyone brings whatever's in their fridge, and it usually doesn't go together. Panels are the only format where introductions take longer than the content itself. And by the time they're done explaining why they're credible, you only remember the sponsor. Saying, hey, we'd like you to be a part of our panel is really just a nicer way of saying, hey, we think you and 3 other people combined might be as interesting as a speaker. A moderator promising that there will be time for Q&A at the end of your panel is about as the same as your boss's promise for promotion. And
Oh.
can you imagine if we had a drinking game for every time we heard a panelist say, "That's a great question, David"? All joking aside, there are other creative ways to structure your conversations, and I encourage you all to look into those other ways of doing it. And may that content be designed for the audience rather than the sponsors and the panelists themselves.
Mm. This minute of stand-up comedy brought to you by pumpkin
Ooh.
spice lattes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Listen, I love one too. I don't care. I know maybe I'm not supposed to, but I'll start ordering them in August. I don't care. How'd you feel, Jesse?
Oh my gosh, it was good. It was fun. I feel good about it.
Right, right.
Yeah, I feel good about it. I loved seeing the reactions. Thanks, squad.
Yeah. Better than the first time, right?
Better than the first time. Just keeps getting better and better.
Okay, so everyone knows not to arrange a panel with Jesse on it.
Yeah,
Unless there's some coffee in there, she might be into that too.
yeah. Or ask me to moderate a fishbowl instead, and I'm your girl.
Ah, there you go. Okay, yeah, make sure to drop whatever you're thinking in the chat. Jesse can see it. She knows she already killed with that hey, you and 3 other people line. That was fantastic. I feel like I heard a gasp and a laugh on that one. Um, coming up next, we have, is it Kali?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, indeed.
Kali,
Tis I.
what's your role? What do you wish people knew about your role and what you do?
Oh. Hmm. I'm a public speaker and facilitator, and I really give a fuck about the future of work and inclusion.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And why'd you sign up to do some comedy?
Because 3 days before I saw this announcement, I started writing this. So
That
it
right?
was synchronicity. And even though I wasn't intending on performing 3 days after starting writing my first comedy routine, you can't pass that up.
Here's your sign. Take
Yes.
it away.
Oh, I'm very sign led. Okay, y'all, I think it's time we talked about your toxic ex. You know, they said they'd change, that this time would be different. I know they promised stability and mutual growth and maybe even psychological safety. Yeah, that ex. But they still message you at 8 p.m. on a Sunday and you're still replying, even though all your loved ones have told you you really don't have to. I know when things first started, they seemed great. You recorded with swag, onboarding sessions, even a welcome GIF in Slack. But it was really just corporate love bombing, hun. And 6 weeks later, you're covering for 3 people, wondering why your watch thinks you're being chased by a bear in your budget meeting. So here you are, stuck in this situationship. Work says it's changed. It read Dare to Lead. It hired a coach. It's doing breath work now. But when you ask for boundaries, it's like, of course, we care about your mental health. So here's a webinar at lunch on your busiest day called Protecting Your Time. That's mostly slides about your cortisol rising. So if work texts you back tonight like, yo, you up? Just a quick sync. Text back, I'm seeing someone new. Their name is Boundaries, and they don't schedule meetings during lunch.
Wow, Collie, great work.
Yes.
Yay.
Come
Great
off
work.
mute if
I
you
heard,
can. Give Collie
Well
some love.
done.
Come off mute. I want to hear it.
So good. So
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. I heard Portugal changed a law that made it like illegal for your employer to like text you after work hours. Did
Oh
you
my
hear?
God, my best friend just moved there. So I've already got a place.
Do you
I'm
think
out.
we'll end up doing that here in this country?
Oh God, I wish. Oh, there's so many things we could do.
That's great. Collie, where's your sense of humor come from?
I think I will go with I will go with Aaron's answer, trauma.
Yes, I do too.
Yes,
You guys hear my dog's barking in the background. He has some trauma right now. He's working through.
it is just the best way to cope, isn't it?
Well, thank you so much, Collie. One more, give her any
Thank you, everyone.
comments or
Yes. Love, 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 love. I just shared this in the chat, Sammy, but my cheeks are hurting. And I'm like, oh no, we have 5 more performers.
That's
Uh,
great. All right, after Collie, we've got
Peter.
that's right. Peter. Um, tell us about why'd you sign up to do this?
Well, I have these guys behind me who think they can do the HR job, and I normally don't like it when non-HR people say that, but I thought, hey, why not give them a forum?
So you're an HR professional.
I am. I'm a recovering chief people officer, 20 years in-house, 20 years, service, and now I place people leaders. It's one hop removed.
Okay, so you're gonna give us some insight into the HR world, right?
Well, we'll see how these guys do. I can't speak for them.
Okay, all right, take it away.
Okay. All right, so let's see what Tommy Lee Jones has to say about return to work. We're going to do a hard target search of every outhouse, henhouse, and farmhouse in the 50-mile radius. Your fugitive is any remote employee. All right, Dr. Evil, benefits. Benefits managers have great role models for me, quite evil already. They put the price of care bread pretty much a salary. The employees have to stay. Excellent. Ringo? Radical candor, Peter? Well, I think people operation sounds like surgery. It's kind of weird. And this placing heads of people thing you do, very strange. Sounds like what they did to Ned Stark on Game of Thrones. All right, but flash it up with King Charles. I used to be a renowned environmentalist. Unfortunately, when my mother died and gave me the keys to Windsor Castle, and they found out it had 1,000 rooms, well, I'm afraid the carbon footprint kind of let me down.
Peter, thank you so much.
Woo!
We got 4 special guests from it.
Oh,
Now do Donald Trump, please. What's his take on HR?
I won't do the Donald. You gotta be respectful of our president. Not on this show.
Yeah, that's good. That's the corporate
Yes,
workplace here.
thank you for that.
I assume you practice these impressions a bunch at home, huh?
My poor wife. Yeah, she's hearing dozens of different weird guys on a daily basis. She has the patience of Job.
That's great. He said my poor wife, and I was half expecting him to launch into Borat, like my poor
My
wife. She's so scared when she hear me talk like this. That's great. Does she have a favorite?
Oh, maybe the better descriptor might be like least unfavorite.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
she tolerates my Schwarzenegger, you know.
Ah, you got a Schwarzenegger?
You're
Ah.
all Terminators. Look at you. That's what you do for a living on this HR people, Terminators.
Hey, listen, that's the former governor to some people in this chat room, okay? To some people on the Zoom. We got to
Fair's
be
fair.
respectful,
Sorry,
right? To
sorry.
our celebrity politicians in America.
Yeah,
Peter,
keep up.
that was fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Let them know how you're feeling in the comments. Give them a little
Yes.
laugh react, anything you want. And
Also,
then
if you happen to be in New York, Peter runs a really awesome gathering called Funny People, where they get folks in HR together IRL to do stand-up comedy. If this is like you're having fun with this and you happen to be in New York, go and follow Peter on LinkedIn to know when the next one's happening. So, yeah, Tina, get there, girl. All
Okay.
right.
Who do we got coming up next, Jesse?
Aaron, yeah?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
don't you know?
Aaron, tell us about what you do.
So by day, I lead DEI for a medical device company. By night, I am a perpetually exhausted attempted comic, parent, career coach. I don't know. I've got 18 side hustles because, in America, you need 30 jobs to make it work,
Yeah. I've been in this country for a little bit. I know what it's like. How'd you get into stand-up comedy or trying this?
And the last time I did stand up was 2008. And I figured that, wow, this might be cheaper than paying my therapist my copay. And on top of that, you get licensed to actually say what you think and be your authentic self without consequences. I'm like, God, that sounds so much better than the corporate grind. So this is my therapy.
Let's test those. See if you could say what you're gonna say without any consequences. Take us away.
Fantastic. As a DEI leader, I'm often asked for innovative solutions, right? Like, how can you fix systemic racism? And I'm like, let me think. I think we should start by doing away with accommodations at work. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh my God, that's horrible, Aaron. You're going to make the workplace less inclusive. Worry not, because here's what I'm going to do. We're just going to impose the difficulties on everyone else in the majority. So, for example, if we have a colleague who uses a wheelchair to get in around the building and we don't have an accessible door, we're not going to fix the door. We're just going to hurt everyone's legs. So everyone's in a wheelchair and no one can get in without assistance. I hear that experiential learning is best, right? So maybe we should try that. Another conversation I had recently was around this idea around generational differences in the workforce. And I think the way to resolve this is by putting electroshock collars on everybody and giving people the right or ability to shock anybody at any time. So, for example, when I see a Gen Z employee on their phone in a meeting, but don't worry, it goes both ways. If you hear a boomer start any meeting off with "back in my day," okay, I think it's a great way to implement a real-time feedback system.
Aaron, thank you so much. We are all a
Yeah.
little bit scared too.
Give
Uh,
some to
very
Aaron.
mob boss approach to solving and DEI and creating equality. Hey, if you don't like it, we'll break your legs. Are you a fan of Goodfellas in a lot of those movies?
Well, yes, and I live in New Jersey, so I think a little bit of creative inspiration has come from my time in the Garden State. So, yes,
Yeah, sometimes you got to do business, and sometimes you got to do business.
the business has got to do you. Yep, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And shot collars, what kind of position do you have to get to in your company before you could implement that? You do work with medical
Uh,
devices, right?
I think I need to get up maybe two more levels before I can start setting strategy. I
But
also
this
would
isn't
need the
like a sneak
buy-in.
peek.
Yeah. I think there's a little more work to get there, but I think it's got potential. It's got legs.
Yeah, not like a ton of the employees that you're working with in the future.
That's right. See, you got where I was laying down. Yeah.
All right, well, be on the lookout for your new workplace accommodation, the shot collar. And give another round of applause, little thumbs up, little comment, anything you can
Yes.
for Aaron. That was great, Aaron.
Thank you much, Sammy. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Jesse, who are we going to next?
Little Ginger.
Oh, that's me.
Little Ginger, are you there?
Hey, Sammy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. What's that? What's going on in your background?
I did a thing for Culture First Community, so I still have the background. I thought it'd be cool to, be a little.
Yeah.
Are people talking? Hello?
Yeah, we have a bouncer on this chat. We're gonna get this sorted.
Okay, because I'm here for this. All right, let's keep it down. Puppet
Yeah.
show.
No,
Free
listen,
puppet show.
I'll take care of them, little Ginger. You
Okay,
don't
thank
you
you.
worry. I'll bounce them if I have to. I know this is a free session, but I'll kick someone out and I'll charge them very mob-like Aaron would want.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that, Sammy.
Is your last name Ginger, or is it just Mr. Little Ginger, or
I mean, did I put a space there? I put a space. It's really like Little Ginger. It's like one word, like
like a
share.
rapper, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. So tell us about your role. What is it that you do?
Oh yeah, I'm Chief Shenanigans Officer and co-founder of CulturePuppets.com. I got my co-founder's hand is right up my pee hole right now. David,
Yeah.
he's a good guy. Yep, we work together. And we make meetings more
Never close
interesting
to
for
them.
companies. So, founder roasts and celebrating team members for connection, and it's great when a puppet shows up to your meeting. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel great right now looking at you. I hope you don't take that
Oh,
any type of way.
thank you. I'm turning red-ish blue.
All right, well, take us away.
Oh, thank you. So this assignment is so 2025. Okay, employee, you've got 60 seconds to mock all of corporate culture or you're fired. Go. I hate workplace trends. I'm Gen X, so I'm always two behind. Everyone's on the great lock in, the great resignation. Meanwhile, I'm still processing the Great Depression. Except the Gen Z stare trend. BT dubs, Gen Z? You didn't start it, sorry. Puppets did. Check it out. This is default puppet mode. Remember Kermit? That guy could stare you down like a mofo. I mean, his eyes weren't even googly. Legend. Or the latest trend AI, where your job description gets flushed away and your new role is literally training your replacement. Congratulations, Gerald. You've been promoted to obsolescence. Honestly, though, the worst part of company culture isn't even at work. It's on LinkedIn. That's what actually keeps people at their jobs, because if you quit or get fired, then you have to announce it in this long, sad, vulnerable post. Also, have you noticed everyone's turning the most basic everyday experience into a business philosophy now? Here's one from yesterday. Today, I made French press. It taught me patience, how to grind, and the importance of just the right amount of pressure. Hashtag Monday. Chelsea, did you really tag Keurig in there? LinkedIn didn't make networking easier. It just made nonsense scalable. Okay, you've been a great audience. See you on LinkedIn. Hashtag open to work.
Thank you, little Ginger. Everyone, make sure to
Yes.
send a connect his way.
Connect with me.
That's fantastic. I'd rather you take my job than AI.
Oh, totally, right? If I see AI on stage in a club, I'm out of there.
Do you use AI yourself, little Ginger?
I don't. I use, with the original AI puppets, I use Puppet GPT.
A bit GPT.
Hmm. We tell you a whole bunch of nonsense and we cost $20 a month.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're saying I should switch plans.
Switch plans. Yeah.
How are you for the environment, by the way?
Up yours, Altman. Oh, what? No environmental impact whatsoever. Unless
That,
this guy eats some beans.
that's
Really? I just went there.
what a deal. What a deal. Little Ginger, thank you again.
Thank you,
Oh my
Sammy.
gosh. Also, shout out to Little Ginger, who's run by David Misnay. I hope I pronounced
That's
your
right. I got a little lilt at the end. Misnay, hey.
Misnay. And Little Ginger, I host a annual retreat for our global chapter leads, and Little Ginger was amazing and was my co-MC for that. And then at the very end, ended up roasting me to all of our community members. And so, if you're looking for someone to come and do like a retreat with you and co-host in a really fun, unique way, everyone was like, "This is so unhinged and delightful." So, anyway, definitely worth a follow, folks.
Thank you, Jesse. It was a pleasure.
Thanks again, little Ginger. We've got two performers left. Is that right, Jesse?
Yes. Oh, Kathy's next. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kathy, tell us, where do you get your sense of humor from?
Oh gosh, a big family, and yeah, and I think 20 years as a woman in tech.
Hmm, how'd you practice for this?
Yeah, yeah.
I said, how'd you practice for this?
How do I practice for this? I just wrote what I thought would be fun, and if it made me laugh, then I was like, I think there's something there, and it's just a gut at this point for me, having done this for a while. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great. Take
yeah.
it away.
All right, you guys. You guys, we're all on LinkedIn. I know LinkedIn is about putting our sexiest self forward. We all do it. I do it. It's like, look at the headline. It's like ex Meta, ex Disney, ex Apple. But that's like me going to a dating app and being like, yeah, I used to date hotter, richer people. But now, you guys, I'm here for you. Tech is disruptive. Yeah, it's disruptive. They've disrupted my job security, my peace, my work life balance. HR, you guys, I love you guys because you're like, we're like family. Well, my family goes to therapy and owes me money. I spent 2 decades in tech, a very male dominated culture. Last company that I was with had a fun little tradition where all the groups got names. The IT guys, it bros. Accountants, dough bros. They came up with a name for the women in my division, Kathy and Brenda. Yeah. But it's good, you guys, because crying in the supply closet is now considered a mental health break. And finally, do we really want to replace our like most annoying narc coworker with AI? Like Kevin 2000 every day is like 73% of you guys are disengaged. Well, you know what? At least human Kevin goes home eventually. You guys are great. Thank you.
Kathy, that was great. That came from a very real place, I could tell.
Yes.
How's
Well,
LinkedIn going for you? Is it sexy?
well, you know how it is. It's like the dating app for nerds. Nobody really wants to be there, but we have to be there. So we're there.
People are probably dating on LinkedIn. I don't know if people have
Yeah,
gone that
maybe.
far yet.
Nerds in love, and I ain't gonna stop it. If you find love there, you find your true app, your true company, God bless you.
Sometimes you're just talking about workplace culture and you
Yeah.
just have an inextricable attraction to someone else's post and you got to slide in their DMs.
Slide in their DMs and be like, hey, want to buy my stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, that's sexy. I mean, to
Right?
some people.
Yep. I see people in the chat looking very sexily at their Zoom cameras.
I
Uh,
love how people related to the supply closet. That's right, ladies. We all knew. Yes.
right. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you, everybody.
We're down to our last performer.
Natalia.
That's right. That's right. Natalia, where are you joining us from?
Geneva, Switzerland.
Wow, I heard there's chocolate there, is there not?
Oh, sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay, I might be getting my places mixed up. What got you, what prompted you to get into this?
The first round was so good that I thought, why not try
And
in the second go?
you've worked both in the States and in Geneva, is that right?
Yeah, my first decade started at an American law firm, which was really, really, so I kind of embraced American work culture. Yeah,
How'd that
from
feel?
the start. I'm recovering from that now. Very happy to. Yeah, and I think I'm in the right place. Yeah,
That's
to do
great to
that.
hear. Tell us, share your story with us.
Have you seen that article in The Economist recently where they said if Europe wants to remain geopolitically relevant, Europeans, those lazy creatures, need to roll up their sleeves and clock in more working hours per week? But you know what I think The Economist? They are just jealous. And I see that on the faces of my American friends who relocate to Europe. First, they go into complete freeze mode, and then they go so quiet. So no one else discovers this and follow them here. And when I first came to Switzerland, I saw the notion of human-sized employer. And I was like, dang, I have been working for inhuman-sized companies my entire life. I didn't even know the difference. So according to the French-speaking people, size matters for workplace culture. But don't let anyone tell you what for you qualifies as human size. And as the French say, trouvez votre bonheur, or there is a happiness for everybody. Bisous, bisous.
Yes.
Talia, that was great. It's so true. I've learned something. I feel slightly aroused now. That's great. So it's on everyone to decide what size company is perfect for them, is what you're saying, yeah?
Exactly. But I was shocked, to be honest, in job ads to see actually that as a compliment after working at an American law company where it was all growth and, and size and outreach and everything, that human size company is actually something positive. Like they're trying to attract candidates through that. And I was like, what? That completely changed my notion of workplace culture and the meaning of the size for that.
In
Yeah.
America, bigger is better, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Natalia. That was fantastic. One more last round of applause for Natalia and all the
All
comedians,
the
all of our performers.
yes.
Yes.
So awesome. Okay, that was going to be my next thing, which is just like, can we share some love to our performers? I'm going to share this slide with you all to see what's showing up. Yeah, I know we've been joking about it, but slide into their DMs, connect with them on LinkedIn, follow them on IG, especially our boy Sammy. And like, this is why why do we take creative risks like this, Sammy? Why do we do it?
We do it because it's what makes us feel alive. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's good it's to model these traits, vulnerability, growing, being a person, doing something you're scared of. Um, it's not an easy thing to do, and that's the kind of humanity and type of things that we want to celebrate. And also, I will be touring in your local city. Keep up with me. I'll be in Montana next week. I was in LA last week. I'll be in San Francisco in November, New York in October. Check out your boys. See my non-workplace appropriate humor. It's on my page. And
It's the not safe for work humor.
that's right.
Yeah, I love that. Was it Rachel who said that in the chat? Maybe we should change this to just not safe for work.
Thank you, Tina. I saw her in the chat dropping it.
Oh. Okay, now's our time. Also, my favorite thing now to do on LinkedIn is to send people voice notes. So if you haven't realized, you can send 1-minute voice notes in a DM via LinkedIn. It's become one of my new favorite things. So not just like a written DM, but you could literally send someone that performed today a little love and a little appreciation that way. So I'm just sharing because that's a fun little thing that I've noticed recently. Yeah, love voice notes. It's our time to vote on our performers. You will get we'll share this with you. Here we go. I don't know what this looks like on your phone. Maybe I messed this up. Maybe I didn't. We're about to find out. Let's see what this QR code looks like.
Whoa, we got a race. We got a race from the start. Jesse taking the tide for first place. Whoa, Jesse, you're way down, man. This is like the horses right here. We should put some money on this. Is it legal to bet during the workplace hours?
Also, Sammy, earlier when you were talking about how you're like a clown during the day, all I could hear was the
That's what plays in my head when I'm thinking of bits.
Can I just say David is Little Ginger, just in case people forgot?
Oh yeah, David
that's
is
me.
Little Ginger. I'm so sorry.
My
Thank you.
alter ego.
Oh, look, you did that and you jumped to number 1. There you go.
Boom. That feeling.
Self-advocacy or self-advocacy.
I love it.
My name is Collie, if anyone missed that.
All our performers are just going to start advocating for themselves.
What's that guy's name again? Oh, yes, Peter. Good man.
They all want to win the $5 Starbucks gift card that Culture Amp is going to award them.
That's so good. All right.
Voulez-vous coucher
Yeah.
avec moi?
Awesome. This is so fun. All right. We got gift cards to give out later. $5 gift cards to get your pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks.
So you will have to cover the other $1.28 that comes
Yeah,
with it.
that's not enough to actually cover the beverage, so that's kind of cheap. Yeah.
It just reminds you of where we're at, okay? I think it's perfect satire.
All right, round of applause for our winners. Look at that. So good. I'm gonna try and convince the social media manager at Culture Amp to get you added.
No,
So
but seriously, $5. And if they don't do it, I will do it. I will send the $5 gift card, okay?
Ah. All right, some closing announcements here for the squad. There's other ways to stay connected. Yes, this is the chapters community. But if you're not in our People Geek Slack community, I would totally recommend getting in there. There's 40,000 people in there sharing ideas, resources, jobs, best practices, other HR related events. So definitely check that out. The other ways to connect with our Culture First community are through the Culture First podcast. We have a bomb newsletter that goes out with research and really cool articles that are happening around the future of work. We also have our regional events, so our Culture First on Tour events, webinars, workshops, especially around our new Culture Amp research. And then the Leaders Forum is another great way that people stay connected. So you're welcome to scan this QR code. It'll take you to our community page to get plugged into all the other stuff.
And also really quick,
Yeah.
while we're plugging that stuff, let's also give a huge plug and round of applause for Jesse Jacob, everyone. Not just a comedian and Culture Amp employee, but also a creative person who takes like cool, weird risks. When you get back to whatever your regular job is and someone asks you, hey, what'd you do today? And you were like, I attended a virtual roast of workplace culture. That exists because Jesse's a person who, like we said, takes creative risks and does it. So huge, huge round of applause for Jessie and her efforts.
Woo, Jesse!
Love you, Jesse.
Love you guys. Thanks for just going along with my shenanigans and having fun and playing with me. There's other ways to stay connected outside of our roast. If you want to come and talk about resilience, we're doing a session on October 9th. If you want to come and learn around AI and HR, there's a session on October 2nd hosted by Albuquerque, Atlanta, and Indianapolis. That's also virtual. There's a session in person in Seattle on October 7th. If anyone happens to be in Seattle, check that out. But there's all sorts of stuff happening this month. These are just 3 that were worth calling out. There's a mix of in-person and virtual. Natalia, who is one of our performers today, she runs not only the Geneva chapter, but also runs a chapter focused on trauma at work and is doing a book club series if you want to hang out with her and talk about trauma at work. Lastly, there's some cool research out from Culture Amp that's worth sharing. I know many of our community members have nerded out about this report, and I'm trying to share it with the world because it's actually mind-blowing around how do we actually, what is, high performance, and actually how do we sustain it? And oftentimes we think of performance being this like unicorn characteristic trait, but actually it's not. And this report talks about what actually makes a high performer. I think that's it. We're gonna clap us out. We can end a little bit early, unless Sammy, we need to take this anywhere else.
I think we're at the perfect point.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Cheers to co-creating a better world of work. May we bring more laughter, humor, and play to our workplaces. And we'll send out the recording and all the fun things later. But appreciate you all. Thanks for being here. Cheers to co-creating a better world of work. Ciao, ciao for now.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks.